Good morning, everyone. I hope you had a very good day today. So, before we are going to start, let's have our opening prayer first. Okay, let us put ourselves in the holy presence of God in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be your name, your kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread and forgive us our sins as we forgive those who sinned against us. Do not bring us to the test, but deliver us from evil. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Good day, everyone. I hope okay ra para ng tanan. And then today, we're going to tackle new topic. So I hope excited naman. Okay, for the checking of attendance, I just have to announce it and how we are going or what will be the way in our checking of attendance. So maybe basit react lang ko sa message para accessible ra sa tanan. Okay, next step, since this is a recorded discussion, so recapitulation will be on your own na lang. Okay. Okay, supposedly we'll be having a motivational activity, and going to play with this activity. But since again, this is a recorded discussion, so let me just have to play na lang this one. Okay, because our motivational activity or motivational game for today is called Fact or Bluff. Okay, this is how supposedly, this is how you're going to play the game. So you're going to read each definition carefully and analyze whether it is fact or bluff. And I know all of you already know how this game should be played. Okay, let's start. So the first definition here, a motif is an image, spoken or written word, sound, act, or another visual or structural device that has symbolic significance. What do you think is the answer? Is it fact or bluff? Dun, 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 dun. Okay, it's fact. Second, the concept of motif and theme are the same. The concept of motif and theme are the same. Is it fact or bluff? Dun, 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 dun. Okay, that's bluff. So later on, um, are we going to explain to you why motif and theme are not the same. Next, symbol means representation. Symbol means representation. Is it fact or bluff? Yes, of course, it's fact. How about this one? It is believed that the skills of the early Filipino jewelry makers were adopted from their Asian neighbors like the Chinese. It is believed that the skills of the early Filipino jewelry makers were adopted from their Asian neighbors like the Chinese. Is it fact or bluff? Yes, it's fact. How about this one? One of the most precious traditional livelihoods that are still kept today is weaving. One of the most precious traditional livelihoods that are still kept today is weaving. Is it fact or bluff? Yes, of course, it's fact. Okay, that's all for our motivational activity. Thank you so much for playing with me. Okay, so our topic for today, it's still related to the Philippine traditional art makings from the indigenous or traditional people or culture, because today we are going to delve into a new topic, which is about visual elements in Philippine traditional motifs and crafts. But first things first, I want you to um I, I want I want to share with you the new set of our learning objectives. So at the end of the discussion, students will be able to first analyze how line was interpreted and utilized in traditional crafts, develop students' ability in manipulating the art or the elements of art, and document changes and the shifting environment such as terrain, texture, sound through fusion of various elements of art. So I hope we are all positive in order for us to achieve our learning objectives for today's discussion. Okay, before we're going to delve into the definition of motif, so we have here the lesson outline. So this will be our guide and how we are going to, or what will be the topic that we are going to tackle for today. So first we have here what is motif, next the three ways of motif, as well as the classification and types, classification of motifs, the types of symbols, and the indigenous Philippine arts and crafts. So I hope everyone is ready. So fasten your seatbelt because we are going to start our discussion. So when we say motif, so what is motif? Motif is an image, spoken or written word, sound, act, or another visual or structural device that has symbolic significance. So, in literature, unlike sa literature, ang motif, it is the recurring element like an image, so sound, word. So it takes a figurative meaning. But here in art, so mo na siya tong example sa motif. So, 'di ba? As you can see na ay usa ka element or usa ka design nga nagbalik-balik, so repetitive patterns, but it has different colors nga same sa color scheme. Diba? The shade of blue and black. And here, motifs are used to develop and inform the theme of the literary work. So, motif is any distinctive feature or idea that reoccurs. So, mo na siya class. And then, yeah, it is a repetitive pattern or repeated pattern. So, as you can see here, so nag-repeat ang elements nga naa diri sa frame. Okay. Here, the concept of motif is related to a theme, but like a theme, which is an idea or message, a motif is a detail that repeated in a pattern of meaning that can produce a theme while creating other aspects at the same time. So, ang motif, di ba? Ang motif, na siya symbolic significance, okay? Na siya symbolic significance, and then it has a repeated pattern. While ang theme, nag-represent lang siya sa idea sa motif. So, dili sila pareha class, kay ang motif makaproduce og theme. But then, ang theme, musabot lang siya kung unsa ang motif or unsa ang hatag nga gikan sa ang theme the motifs. These are the recurring images, and it is also tied to the reader's story or the viewers based on the artwork to help them understand some of the important concepts in a given work. So again, nagbalik-balik siya. And then, it strengthens the messages of the artist. So, especially sa mga viewers nga ganahan og mo find og meaning behind that one. And then here, the difference of theme and motif is that ang theme makaproduce, okay? Ang theme makaproduce or lead to the development of a motif. But then, ang motif, maka-produce siya og theme based on the repeated patterns. So here, class, in the essence of motif and theme is that ang theme is the what. Okay, the theme is the what because it answers the idea or message from motif, and then motifs are the how. Okay, motif or the how of expressing that theme within that word. So I hope nasabtan ra ang concept sa motif and theme. So we have here motifs typically are used in one of three ways. So here, the first ways is that a single object that appears multiple times throughout the work with most of the emphasis placed on them. So here, class, ang artist nag-use og strategize nga mga engagements para sa certain nga artwork. And here, when a single object is used, okay, when a single object is used as a motif and it is being repeated, so it often serves as to emphasize its significance. So it guides the viewer's attention to it, and this repetition can create a sense of unity, rhythm, or symbolism within the composition. So, di ba, based ano nga example. So, di ba, isa ra ka element, single object lang ang nag-use nga para ma-unify ang kanang nga adin. So, naa siya different rhythm because of the different colors nga gihatag sa atong example. Okay? Next, we have here the collection of related objects that appear multiple times to emphasize the theme. Okay, so here the recurring element, pattern or design that helps the unify. So ang purpose sa motif is to unify the certain artwork. Although nag-repeat siya, but then naman siya po lahi nga color, design, or patterns. So, di ba, for example, ani kay kanang sa mga motifs sa kasal. So, example, ang motif is bohemian. So, of course, bohemian po ang mga design, ang patterns, as well as sa kanang unsa ang gipanggamit ng mga colors in order to unify that certain nga celebration. So, ingana po ang motif diri. So that's the essence of motif. So it appear multiple times to emphasize that theme. Yeah, that's correct. So here, para again ma-emphasize nato ang theme, so mag-use ta of course of mga different ka mga designs or ang kana nga certain object nga related for that certain occasion caning appear hundreds or multiple times. So that is for motifs. So the second ways. And then for the last one, so a collection of unseemingly unrelated items that serve to draw attention to the theme in a subtle manner. So here, this subtlety, it allows us to engage on deeper, oftentimes in a subconscious level, and making a theme more immersive. So, because ani class kay kanang once manggod makakita ko og certain motif, so certain colors, certain designs and patterns and whatsoever. So, makuan po ato ang emotions, right? So, us as a viewer, so it consciously connect us with the elements at first. And then, at that time, the subtle engagement makes the theme more powerful and memorable. And also put it's seemingly unrelated elements works except this is for the interconnectivity and interpretation. So makalita, it can lead us with the multiple interpretations out of it because that certain work or these makes a work richer and more layered, allowing us for different perspectives. Because magod class, ways sa motive, it encourage the artist or the artist encourage us to make a deeper engagement by making the theme more resonate in a way that feels as more natural. So mao na siya sa motif. And here we have different classifications of motifs. First, we have geometric. Okay, and when we see geometric, it includes lines in various forms, such as vertical, horizontal, diagonal, and curve. Also, form fabric designs such as stripes, plaids, checks, and circles, and their associated designs. Geometric designs can lead the eye in the design or pattern that is created by them. So as what you can see in our example here, so we have here different lines, so various lines. So we have here vertical, horizontal, na ay paslan, and then na ay pa-form og shapes, na ay stripes, di ba? So lahi-lahi. So this is what geometric looks like. So na present naman po na to sa previous na topic. So based sa katong mga weaving sa mga different traditions and cultures. So ing ani po tong mga ways sa ilahang mga fabric sa ilang textile art. So that this is geometric. And here we have also realistic or natural. And when we say realistic or natural, it portrays as direct replica of things as they exist in nature, such as flowers and trees, animals in jungle, human figures, and other natural things. They are also called novelty patterns. So, as example po dere. So, here, realistic or natural. So, it based from, of course, unsay nakita nato sa surroundings and sa environment. So, atong example dere, it's all about plants. So, ang motif diri is all about plants. So, of course, plants po diri lisod po butang taog og animals, no? Unlike og ato ang motif is about jungle. So we can add animals, kung unsa ang itong bagitan sa forest, so somewhat like that. And also we can also have to use human figures kana pong mga pinanaa sa bato. So ingana po or kanang sa dagat. So pwede po na siya. Or kung pwede ba kanang naglupad mo sa langit. So pwede po na siya nga mahimo nga motif. But since this is the most kanang common na motif, diba? Especially sa wedding. So daghan man yung mga buwak ana. And sa wedding po, kung ang motif ana kay daghang buwak, so of course na jud po daghang buwak ana no. And then ang buwak kay na-connect ra po sa color sa unsay ka na gipangsuot sa mga bridesmaid and such. So mo na siya for realistic or natural. And then stylize. Stylize. Okay, stylize. It is simplified variations of natural or man-made objects that are no longer recognizable. So ang stylize class, wala na kayo siya ingon nga na-practice. No, kay ingani man ang forma sa stylize. And it obtained by rearranging the real objects either by simplifying or exaggerating them to achieve the purpose of the design. So, since ang isolized dili na kay siya ingon nga na practice, it's because kay okay, isolized they are considered as a classification of um the classification of motif because they represent a specific approach to depicting objects using simplified decorative. So as what you can see here, it's quite decorative, unlike sa mga other nga examples, and often non-realistic forms. So kung moingon tag stylize, so or these are non-realistic forms. Unlike sa realistic or natural na, it's quite realistic because we can it the designs or the motifs are exist in nature. So muna siya for isolates. And then for abstract, okay? For abstract, so these are the combinations or color, size, and shape without relationship to natural or man-made objects. So unlike sa realistic or natural nga naa siya ang designs or ang motif can be seen in the environment and then stylized na man-made objects siya. Here in abstracts, wala siya relationship to the both theme or objects. But then it is the combination of all elements of all artworks, color, size, and shape. And when we say abstract, it describes the designs that are not concrete, not representing or imitating something real or natural. So, ang abstract focus ra siya sa colors, sa shapes, and the compositions. So, unlike sa atong example diri, so mas colorful siya, right? So, naa siya yung mga different lines, na mga curves, like colors, the different compositions nga naa sa artwork. And then without any direct reference to physical reality. So, of course, abstract, wala siya na siya ka na gibasan or wala ka siya in na connection, but then if hatagan na siya meaning, so pwede pa natin siya ba hatagag meaning. And they also convey emotions, movements. Here, na different movement, diba? So, lahi-lahi ang style sa curve and such. And then it is depicting on the identifiable object. So this is why abstract it is considered also as the classification for motif because it defines a way motifs are created and perceived in artistic and design context. So next we have here symbol. And when we say symbol, it means representation. So sa ako ang gipakita earlier, so it has a statement it has there a statement that says symbol means representation. So mo ni ang answer, it's fact man to, diba? So here, kung moingon tag symbol representation, kanang we can come up different kinds of symbol as the way on how we are going to represent that certain thing or that certain object. So symbol comes from the Greek word symbolon, which means contract, token, insignia, or insignia, ang saan siya pa-pronounce, or identification. Sorry class, wala na ko na search. I forgot to search that one. Okay, but anyways, let's just jump into the types of symbols. Okay, we have here iconograms. Okay, when we say iconograms, these are illustrative representations. And then iconic signs which as an illustrative representation emphasize the points in common between the signifier and signified. Okay, when we say iconograms, these are more abstract symbols that convey meaning through convention rather than the direct resemblance. So they often require or contextual knowledge in order for them to understand. So here we have here an example. So kaning based sa atong nakitaan, it's a church. It's a church. Okay, based atong nakita, it's a church. And ang kaning kanang iconography, it deals with the study of the interpretations of symbols or images within a specific context, like art or culture. So it examines, ang focus ani iconograms, it examines how images and symbols are used to convey meaning, often within a specific artistic or cultural tradition. Okay, so based sa atong example there, so we can see here it's a church. Okay, it's a church. Otherwise, pod kanang heart. Okay, for example, kanang heart. So heart represents love. And maybe this example here represents faith or unity as one religion or unity for that certain religious groups. And then also for, di ba sa another example, kanang Wi-Fi na symbol. So it represents for wireless internet connection. Also pud kanang skull, di ba? Mostly sa kanang mga insecticides, pesticides, makit-an mo na to ng icon sa skull, bitaw skull. So it represents food as kuan danger or it is poisonous. So that's for iconograms. Next, we have here pictographs. And when we say pictographs, it pictograms rather, these are the pictorial representations, so such as isotype. So these are iconic signs which represent complex facts, not through words or sounds, but through visual carriers of meaning. So ang kining pictogram, these are simplified images or symbols that visually represents objects, actions, or concepts in a literal way. So kung moingon tag stick figure, example stick figure. So it represents a person. Iba ka ng stick man ba? So of course kanang tao na. And then here, yan na pud tayo kini nga pictogram. So unsa man siya? So of course it's a church. Okay, what makes a church? Kay naay cross sa top sa roof. And then also kanang knife and fork. So makonsider po natin siya as pictogram and it represents for restaurant. Nga na, di ba sa ato ang mga pan. And also for flame, kanang pictogram sa flame. So it also represents as fire. So that's for pictograms. And also, when we say isotype, kaning, di ba? Such as isotype. So when we say isotype, it is particularly useful in data visualization. So as they break down complex or abstract concepts into easy digestible visual elements. So here, again, kung moingon tag isotype, it is simply illustrating objects or ideas. Next, we have here cartograms. So, ang cartograms, kanang most especially na siya sa kanang mga gigamit sa kanang bitang mag-study about sa location, cartography, ba tawag ana. So, anyways, when we say cartograms, or these are the topographical representations with complex functions. So example statistics. So we have also here our example. So is that statistics, example natin diri, and iconic facts. For example, an atlas on or the ground plan of a house. So muna siya cartograph. So we have here an example also. So muna siya example na to sa cartographs. Okay? So, nasabta naman po siya, dayon. Basta, yung nahunaon, kanang ang cartograms, although it is quite complex But then, from the word cartography, so na siya statistics, na siya mga numbers, on how we are going to, ano, okay. Again, when we're going to say cartograms, although nag-represent siya og kanang complex na functions, but here in art, so it uses or using maps or to in order for us to visually represent statistical data or the abstract concepts where the areas are scaled proportionally to a specific variable. So mo ni siya. Diri sa atong example. Okay? So they can be used to explore themes like population, o diba? Sa atong example, nag-state ta og population as well as or also makakuan pa natin siya mga income and kung pila ang kanang kung unsa kayo ang nipuyo ana nga certain nga area or kana nga certain nga place. So that is for cartogram. And also we have here diagrams. So this is the most kanang known na kayo na kind or symbolic na mga that type of symbols. So here, diagrams, as we say diagrams here, these are the functional representations and visual signs, which are partly iconic representations but are more functional carriers that illustrate, for example, a sequence or facts or functions. So here, so in order for us to separate the um, a certain idea or the certain ranges or the sequence of different facts in order for us to illustrate the difference between the certain idea to one idea. So, magamit ta og diagram. So, based lang po sa atong example diri, so this is considered as one of the example for diagrams. We have also here ideograms. And when we say, I know, ideograms, it represents a concept. And typically, ideograms correspond to the sign as symbol which relates to a concept or object or concept referred to. So independently of any format identification with it. So ideogram, it is written character symbolizing the idea of a thing without indicating any words. So example here. So muna siya dog. And then naaman siya kaning red nga sign. So ang kaning red nga sign, so magkuha ni siya og stop or dogs are not allowed to enter, somewhat like that. And also kanang mga gipang nakita nato sa mga traffic signs or kanang road signs. So we considered also no ma-example na siya sa ideograms because it correspond the sign as a symbol. So although wala siya kanang mga written nga mga what they call that one, written nga unlike sa uban witong mabutangan og mga written kanang sa ubos. So, for example, kung example diri ba butangag mga written words na. But in ideograms, it's just a symbol na nana siya correspond na meaning into it. So we can independently kana know kung unsa na siya pasabutan na. As long as you know some of the signs. So also po class, ang ideograms, these are the graphic symbol. So again, nag-represent sila sa idea or concept. And also, it is used in the system of writing to represent a thing or a theme or no, a thing or an idea, but in not in a particular words or phrase for it. So, ang kalahian lang sa ideogram o pictogram is that ang ideogram nag-represent siya og concept, while ang pictogram nag-convey siya og meaning through the pictorial resemblance to a physical object. So naay resemblance to a physical object. So kaning ideogram so naghatag lang siya science or kanang yeah, kanang mga symbol nga naay correspond nga mga meanings or signs. Okay, so we have here logograms. So it is very sabotable. So when we say logograms, these are conceptual representations like writing, and they are visual referential linguistic signs that do not take a phonetic dimension into consideration. So when we're going to say logograms, so of course it is very known sa atoha, di ba? Especially sa katong mga naay kanang naay mga famous nga mga brands. So nakabalo na taan na, 'di ba? So from the word logo, so it represents the entire word or morphemes. So rather than the individual sounds. So also here we have an example. So written or pictorial symbol intended to represent the whole word. So kini siya unsa man ni siya nga nga brand. So di ba noon kayo ning logograms kung mag-portray ka or okay, again, when we're going to say logograms, so these are present sa mga brands, right? Sa mga brands. So, in order for the customers or the consumers na para magain ang ilang attention of that certain or mahunahunaan ba dayon or dali bitaw mapansin ang certain na brand. So, di ba magamit sila og mga logos. And here, it is the conceptual representations like writings. So, di ba naay uban nga mga logos nga naay mga words, so naay different na mga styles. And then here, um, logograms can be used to create visual language and explore the materiality of that certain language or that certain nga artwork. And also, napod siya means of abstract expression. So here, we have a very famous logo here. So, asa man siya nga, asa man siya nga logo. Okay, since natay famous nga logo here, saan sa man siya nga logo? So it's from Gucci. It's the Gucci logo. So here it is designed by Aldo Gucci, and naay interlocking na double G, right? Interlocking G letters. It represents the initials of the company's founder. So the owner or the founder for the Gucci is Guccio Gucci. Guccio Gucci. So, man siya name sa founder. So, murag maghatag jud sila og kanang brand name, maghatag sila og kanang attention para mapansin sa mga consumers or sa buyers. That's for logographs. And then we have here typograms. Okay, so when we say typograms, these are conceptual representations like writing. So, no, di ay ni class masayot man na. Okay. So, disregard na to tong kuan di ay logograms. Murag na sa'yo may paggama sa PowerPoint. So, sorry for that. Okay, so we have here typograms. And when we say typograms, mao na ni siya class ang conceptual representations like writing. Mao na ni siya typograms. And then, disregard na tong definition nga nahatag sa logograms. I'm so sorry for that. And also, it is a sign that is also composed of a sign derived from a written repertoire such as alphabet. Okay, such as alphabet. So here in typograms, so refers to a word or phrase that is visually designed to illustrate the meaning through the arrangement of size, the composition of its letters. So here, as you can see, na mga nangawala. So na ay missing na letter which is katong nga nasa I. Although present man iya ang kanang dot sa kanang small nga I. Although present man ang kanang small dot sa gamay nga I. So here typograms when you are going to take a word and try to express the word or express the meaning of the word by changing the position, the signs, and the size and the arrangement. So muna siya yung typogram. It try to express the meaning of the certain word by changing its style, the position, the arrangement, or you're going to remove some of the parts, but then kanang masabtan ra siya, as long as masabtan siya. So that is for typograms. We also have here phonograms, and phonograms from the word phono. So there are phonetics. So there are phonic representations, and a sign that is used to signify linguistic or other sounds. So from the word phonology, it is the study of sounds of the letters. So based to ang example here. So we have here a, I, I, u. So mo na siya for the phonograms. And now we are going to delve and jump onto the Indigenous Philippine arts and crafts. So I hope nasabtan ra ang ato ang previous nga topic, which is the visual elements as well as the symbols, motifs. Okay, because now we are going to move on to this topic. So, one of the most precious traditional livelihoods that are still kept today is weaving. So it is been present majud, especially sa mga indigenous no culture, since ang mga indigenous na culture still nag-continue rin na sila, gi-preserve pa rin na nila ng weaving. So, back sa ako kung taga-asa ko, so I came from Mindanao, and until jud karon, so present jud ning weaving. So daghan pa jud ang mga tawo, especially katong mga indigenous groups na nag-use og weaving. So they still kept that one because para magud sa ilaha, it represents their cultural identity, their personal narrative as indigenous people. So important po na sa ato ang nga mo embrace sa unsay ato ang culture kay as Filipinos, since we have different cultures, but then this is serve as the treasure of our country. So that's why we should embrace, love, and take time to give precious or kanang i-preserve or help na to mapa-preserve pa jud nga certain nga mga practices sa traditional livelihoods, especially sa different cultures or in different indigenous cultures. And also, originating in the pre-colonial times, the art of weaving of Cordillera tribal groups in the Philippine North is still existing despite the threat of the more practical mass production of cloth. And the natives used backstrap loom to produce blankets and articles of clothing. So, di ba, we are now in a very, very high-tech, advanced na ang ato ang technology. That's why, ang kini nga mga practices kay murag nanganganib na. Kay, di ba karon na daghan na kayo ang mga tao and the needs of the mass population kay nagadaghan pod. Nagadaghan pod. So, some sa tuan nag-use na jud og mga machines in order na mapadali or accessible na sa tanan. So easy na ang pag-access or pag-make ana nga certain productions of clothes or ana nga textiles. But then again, although nga nanganganib na, dili lang kayo tamo dili lang kayo tamo ingon nga mo rely sa mga unsay na ang mga machines karon. Kay if mo palabit sa atong gibati nga paggamit ana mga certain technology, so unsa na lang man ang ma-treasure nato, ang ma-preserve nato for the next generation. So basin kay since diba nanganganib na ba ning uban nga mga inanib di ba karon, so existing despite the threat of the more practical. So dapat nato nga ato ang i-embrace, ato ang i-take look back kung giunsa na nila pag-preserve para as well as for sa future generations makaingon ko sila na okay in ani di among mga ancestors before. Okay, and then the natives use backstrap loom to produce blankets and articles for clothing. So here we have here different, or these are the some of the indigenous peoples or the indigenous Philippine arts and crafts. So we have here piña cloth. So this is piña cloth, the abaca, basket, pottery and wood carving, and also jewelry making. So we have here piña cloth, and when we say piña cloth, it is produced in looms throughout the province of Antique, and it is a delicate and exquisite and hand-woven cloth made from the fibers obtained from the leaves of pineapple plants, popularly used in Barong Tagalog in country's traditional formal men's wear. So this is the example of piña cloth. So some of the kanang sa pinakauna pa jud kayo ang kanang mga inaning mga clothes. It is used or it came from the fiber of the plants, especially pineapple plants. So diba sa previous nga topic na to, I mentioned there that Barong Tagalog is usually made from pineapple plants. And also, muna siya ang example sa piña cloth. So that's all for piña cloth. Next, we have here abaca. So a fiber derived from the abaca plant is widely grown in certain regions in the country, and it is woven mainly to make sinamay fabric and abaca rope, as well as specialty papers like vacuum bags, currency, and tea bags. So there are also handcrafts like bags, carpets, and clothing made of abaca. So this is one of the example of abaca. So abaca, it comes from the fibers of the plants. So hair string like kanang nga nga object, and then di ba na ating mga process on how they are going to make kanang fibers before sila maka-made of products like in ani. So taas ang process sa pagkama sa abaca. And also baskets. So also made in the Cordilleras as livelihood. And they also use these as storage for food when they need to go to mountain terraces to raise crops, and certain types of blankets or baskets also serve for carrying grains, for hunting animals, or for fishing in the streams. So na siya nga. So many examples sa basket. So I know all of you nakabalaw naman kung unsa ang basket. And then back then before, they serve those baskets or kanang mga baskets as kanang storage also for their food. Okay? Storage for their food when they mag-ani sila sa ilang crops. So mo na nila serve as storage, and also kanang for fishing sa stream. So, di ba kanang kabantay mo, especially kung nakaadto mo sa museum, kay kanang na dito basket nga kanang murag gagmay bitaw. Then isulod ibutang na to nila sa tubig. And then ang fish na mga bahala mo sulod dito. And then inigkuha adto nimo sa daghang may mga isda. So makakuha na kag daghan kay maglubos naman to sila gawas sa basket. So ing ana ang pamaagi pod sa sinaunang panahon. But then karon, some of us nga use naman ang baskets as for aesthetic designs, especially kung naay mga birthday celebrations. So ang mga motifs kay more on baskets na kay it's quite giving Maria Clara vibes sa banadiha. So oldie vibes, oldies. So that's all for baskets. And also pottery. So Filipino potters make pots of different sizes, shapes, and designs, which are usually geometric with stylized nature theme motifs. Functional pieces are made as the need would arise. So an example for this is the palayo, which is used for cooking. So it is very familiar kay na mention rin sa ato as elementary. And then banga or tapayan are used for storing liquids. So kining banga or tapayan kanang back then kanang nindot kani siya class kay although mag-store kag tubig nga dili bugno, but then if imo na siyang imnon nagikan anak nga banga kay mabugno na siya, like mura na siya gibutang og ice. So mo na siya for storing liquids. And also there are also, or there is also the clay-made stove or kalan. And the Bernay pottery in Ilocos Sur is still a lively tradition that continues after the present. So, mauni siya class. So, kaning palayok, it is, kanang, wala na kayo ko kakita ni ron. But then, kanang makabantay ko sa kanang mga famous na mga restaurant, bitaw, kanang giuse ang palayok para servanan sa mga sabaw, like tinola, sinigang, and such. Then, mauni siya ang banga. Okay, mauni siya banga, ang tapayan. This is the famous manunggul jar. Manunggul jar, like, gi-use man ata ni siya og kanang coffin. Kanang serve as coffin, like, ibutang nila dinha ang kanang dust sa tawo nga namatay na sa una. So na ingani kay nag-serve daw na kanang journey padung nimo sa afterlife. So mo na siya for the bayan. And here for Kalan, so of course, it is known naman pud no. So kita naman pud gurong Kalan. So this is, of course, is how it looks like. And then we have here sculptures. So when we say sculpture, Philippine sculpture is the most familiar art form among Filipinos. And the most popular word carvings are those of the Anitos, nature gods. So this is one of the example of nature gods. Kanang mga, sa tawag na ha? Sa tawag ato eh. kanang mga Diyos or mga diyosa sa atong mga ninuno. And then santos or saints and statues of Christ and the Blessed Mother. So it is famous jud pud siya. Also kanang mga gipanggama bitaw ni kita naa bitaw sa museum gihapon. So na siya mga gama dito nga mga different like kanang out of kanang metals, out of woods. So ilan lang gi school kasi nakalimot ko sa so diba sa kanapong sa museum gihapon tanaw kanang katong mga sculpture bitang nga out of metals, out of woods, like narito on different na mga mga materials and on how that certain artist gimmick niya ang sculpting. So, di ba si Kwanto Napoleon Abueva? Napoleon Abueva ba to? Sige, it's Napoleon Abueva. So, also, ya ang gimmick, ang giscope niya ang iyang own na figure. So, that is full sculpture. And also, we have huge jewelry making. So it has been practiced in this country since the early 16th century. It is believed that the skills of the early Filipino jewelry makers are adapted from their Asian neighbors like Chinese. So, man siya. Una indigenous na mga ginama ng mga jewelries. And also, kanang mga jewelries pud sa mga indigenous kay nagyapon siya pattern, nagyapon siya different color na gi um paghimo nila na different nga pattern, different color na also nagrepresent gihapon na sila sa ilang cultural identity. So, I know that all of you already kanang saw or nakakita na mo mga ingani nga kind of jewelry making. At it is been kanang satisfying kay mo lang tong na ay mga until karon na pay mga jewelry makers gikan sa different indigenous groups. Okay. Jewelry making is traditionally a home-based industry with government support. The Philippines has come to be known for its exquisite gold jewelry. So the most popular jewelry pieces are actually made of gold and silver. Rings, earrings, bracelets, brooches, pendants, necklace, 5 pins, and cufflinks with or without gemstones are of these precious metals are common. The Philippines is also known for pearls and semi-precious stones. So, kay pedalas ng silinganan man ang Philippines. So, of course, it is also known for pearls. And then, so karon di ba nakakita na taon na mga different jewelry shops ang Philippines nga naay productions or nga nga ang kanang mga known nga mga baligya kay mga golds and silvers and all of those jewelries are present in that certain jewelry shops. Okay, that's all for our topic about the visual elements in Philippine motifs and crafts. So I hope you already understood what are those kind of things. If you have questions and clarifications, don't hesitate to ask me or PM me. So for this week again, we just have to make or magwa ng tough your discussion ng tough for this week. No activities because I think next week pa maghatag og activities as overall na. So, para dili na mo mabugatan, so you just have to watch this record discussion para if na mo yung mga clarifications, about the certain things, so ma-answer na sa inyong mind. And also for the additional informations that can help you as a student. So thank you so much. Again, thank you so much for listening. I have a great day. Goodbye, everyone.